So, another founder in car, and today we will discuss having fun in a changing world.
Sla hieraf naar rechts.
So, if you're a car enthusiast like I am, or you even have your motorcycle license, there are still ways that you can have a lot of fun on a budget. First off, with the motorcycle license, I don't think many of you have it. I have it, but sometimes there's an overlap between car enthusiasts and motorcycle enthusiasts, but sometimes there is not. So it's not always the case. And it's founder in car, not founder of a motorcycle in this case.
Volg de weg
Also for
61
me,
kilometer.
I sold my motorcycle to get my Abarth 595C convertible. But if you have a motorcycle license, then you have access to really light and quite powerful machines. So for example, for about 20,000 euros, which is a lot of money for a motorcycle, you can get about 200 horsepower. If you want it in a car, you will be paying about double. For example, Polo GTI, 200 horsepower, 42,000 euros. But if you compare the weight of that 200 horsepower motorcycle will be often less than 200 kilograms. Whereas with the Polo GTI it will be 1300 kilograms. So that's 6.5 times the weight. So you can divide that horsepower to 6.5 times to see that you have so much more power to weight on a motorcycle. And it gives you access to supercar performance, oftentimes 5 or even 10 times the amount of money is needed to have similar performance in a performance car. So that's one, quite easy, accessible thereby. The second thing is, it's not all about power. For example, if you have a Swift Sport, which is still, which you can still buy in the Netherlands even, under 30,000 euros, about 27,000 euros the last time I checked, and it has 129 horsepower. With a stage 1 tune you will be looking at about 170 horsepower, stage 2 perhaps towards 180 horsepower. That in a car that weighs less than 1000 kilograms will make it have a better power to weight and especially torque to weight than the Polo GTI has for 42,000 euros. So there is still fun to be had. And even if you don't tune it, or you have a weaker car, if you have a car that is light and willing to drive on the motorway, so you can still have that practicality check, but especially if you can enjoy the B-ways, you will have so much fun. Because that car is nimble, it's light, you can upgrade the suspension, you can upgrade the exhaust so that you still have a little bit of sound left. And to my personal opinion, it might not be yours, but if you look for the age of the car, the costs that are involved by buying and running it, and the special feeling that you get, I think you cannot go wrong with an Abarth. So all the Abarths 500, 595, 695 are very nice cars for the experience. You get a very meaty wheel, you get leather oftentimes, and they sound fantastic. They're also quite light, around 1000 kilograms, some 1100 kilograms. Some of the early models maybe a little bit below 1000 kilograms. And that's fantastic fun on a budget. So that's something I would want to point you towards. If you cannot get that, or you need a little bit more practicality room, also all those VW group engine cars with a 1.8 turbo 20 volt engine are quite 20 volt engine are quite good cars on average. Also the newer 2-liter TFSIs are very nice cars. So there's quite a lot of room for you to choose from. And the funny thing is that the turbo engine cars, also Abarths, with a simple chip you can have access to even more power and torque. So that can give you, with a flick of the finger, very nice performance envelope to work from. And also modern cars have better brakes, oftentimes also especially better tires than the older ones, and sometimes even better suspension. But the thing is, they are getting heavier and heavier, so the trick is to get quite a light car, especially a light car with a turbo engine inside of it, and just enjoy the heck out of it. With the motorcycle you don't need a turbo, and oftentimes they don't come with turbos. And if they do, with a supercharger, for example the H2 series of Kawasaki, I had a Ninja, this is the Uber Ninja, so to say. I think the H2R runs about 300 horsepower, and the H2 about 240 horsepower with a supercharged 4-cylinder engine. Those are beasts, of course. Back to the topic, I'm not an advocate only for turbocharged cars. I really like my Hondas, especially Honda Civics. Civic Type R is also a fantastic car. The modern day equivalents have a turbo engine, but back in the days they did not. So that also gives you a feeling that even Honda, which is a naturally aspirated concern for almost the entirety of its existence and also the sales, but they switched to turbocharged cars because of the new legislations and the seek for more power compared to its rivals, which all went turbocharged. So that's the way forward. But a naturally aspirated engine is more simple in design and also revs the nuts of it if you have a good engine, especially Honda, double overhead cam, VTEC power plant, that is perfect. Very nice car, very fulfilling, nice to rev it down and seek all that power, ring it out. That's a nice car to get to know as well, but you don't have that good menus on fuel consumption compared to turbocharged cars, and you don't have the tuning potential that you have easy access of additional horsepower. With the minor tweaks, mind you, a 200 stock K20 Honda Doc VTEC block can produce, with minor change and chip tuning, can produce 240 to 260 horsepower, which is very good, even if you compare to a 200 horsepower VW 2 FSI block engine. Then you have about 260 horsepower only with a stage 1 chip tuning. So it's a lot easier, but you can still access that additional power if you want to, of course. So please keep it in mind. You can also have a lot of fun and tuning potential in naturally aspirated engines, but you need to add more work and put more value into it to get to that stage. And also the torque will not grow as much as compared to turbocharged engines. So that's it. My recommendation are a light car with disc brakes all around for stopping power, and preferably a turbocharged engine. And in my opinion, the best car still for that purpose, so the lightest with all disc brakes all around and turbocharged engine that is still accessible, so you can still acquire it because it's not overly costly, is Suzuki Swift Sport. Even in hybrid form, it's a lot lighter than the competition. There's a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, which is a big plus because much of the competition already ran to 3 cylinders, and I like the 4-cylinder a lot better. And it's an under stress engine, so you can easily tweak it for additional horsepower. Hope this helps. This also my choice, the car that I'm driving at this moment. Have a great day. Foundry car out.